Greetings and salutations in service to the one I am, Amber Dawn Star, practical mystic, energetic activist, and for over 36 years, master breathologist. Welcome back to my community and to my channel and to me because I have not been doing this for a couple of months for my 46 subscribers that know that. And there's a good reason, a few reasons for that. I don't know about you, but the dark forces, let's just say the darker aspects, the death aspects of Scorpio, which the nodes have been in Taurus and Scorpio for the last 18 months. And they're about to shift, actually tomorrow, with the new moon in Cancer, into Aries and Libra, which Mars rules Aries and Venus rules Libra. So, moving war and peace, basically, passion and relationships. So we are moving out of an 18-month cycle of the North and South Node in Taurus and Scorpio. So basically, the North Node is where we're going in this life, and the South Node is where we've been and what we know and what we could do blindfolded, and it's known. So Scorpio, of course, ruling death and rebirth. Don't forget the rebirth. Yes, it rules death. Somebody has to do it. 12 signs of the zodiac, somebody in that 12 has to be the one that does the death thing and rebirth thing. And of course, Scorpios, get a bad rap a lot of times because they can be very dark. They can be very scorpionic. If you know, seen scorpions, they look rather fierce, just standing around, let alone when that tail comes up, yikes. But what I've learned from scorpions that I lived with in Arizona is that they don't bother you unless you bother them. They are not the kind that are like, first. They will defend themselves. That tail will come up if put in a corner. But if they're just, bebopping along, they're not going to bother you. So the whole last 18 months has been about the death of things that no longer serve you, that no longer work for you, that need to be reborn. And you know what those are. I'll tell you, the last couple of months, for me personally, I am a Scorpio, so the last couple of months, the darkness, the dark forces have just been pummeling me, and I know I'm not the only one. Where in your life have you been feeling pummeled by the darkness? Every time you go to stand up and, man, something else comes in from left field and knocks your ass back down in the dirt, which for me, that's what's been happening on the whole spectrum of finances and physical health and family and relationships living situations, and just dealing with a lot of challenges, so much that haven't had the energy to do this. And this is one of the things in my life that still brings me joy. So it's really been like a 1-2 in that, attempting to do things that bring me joy and then getting knocked down every time I attempt to stand up again. Well, I believe that's starting to calm. Although we are now moving into Aries and Libra. And I meant to have this close by. Hold on. Okay, so I want you to remember, so the nodes are changing into Aries and Libra. The last time they were in Aries and Libra was the December 27th of 04 to June 22nd of '06. So remember where you were and what you were doing in that time frame. Boy, I sure do. And the one before that, which was one of the biggest changes of my life personally, was the 7th of April '86 to the 2nd of December '87. And that, oh gosh, that was a one for the books. Yeah, a lot of changes in that time frame. Met the sperm donor for my children. My mother passing, traveling all over the country, moving to Alaska. Yeah, from a dream that I had at Mount Shasta about my mom passing. Finding out things about my family that were like shocking to say the least, and started me on the path of basically ending up having twin daughters a year and a half later. And that was quite, well, they'll be 34 this year. So but that time frame is what started all this. So I can only imagine what's coming for me specifically. You might want to look in your chart to see where this falls in your own birth chart. Mine is in the 6th house and in the 12th house. So basically this 18 months, it's about work and bringing the wisdom from the 12th house into the practicality of the 6th house. It is almost a Pisces Virgo axis, which is the next 18 months, which is my 18 months in my birth chart. But this one is like, okay, let's prepare ourselves because what's coming. We're not out of the woods yet, folks. We are not out of the woods. Nope. We're just kind of, just walking actually into the woods. You think it's been a lot. Well, Mars rules Aries, and Mars is the god of war. And, Venus rules Libra, which is all about love. So basically, war and peace, a lot of masculine and feminine, the masculine and feminine balance where, Taurus and Scorpio, both feminine signs, all earth and water are feminine, and all air and fire are masculine. So we are now moving from an 18-month cycle of feminine to an 18-month cycle of masculine. And not the most positive of masculines. Aries being, ruling the head, the first sign of the zodiac, the I am presence, the might makes right, the patriarchy, basically, the negative aspects of the masculine that are coming more into the forefront because, everywhere you look, every time you turn around, there's some new damn thing going on that are trying to, shut us down and shut us up and push us back into, the 1800s with the feminine. I just saw, this is the freaking weirdest ass thing. I follow a woman named Amanda Ellis. She's from the UK, lovely woman, a lot of great information. Check her out. She spoke about this new term called the bonus hole. Yes, you heard that right. The bonus hole. And I'm like, what the fudge is the bonus hole? So, of course, I Googled that. And that's the new name for vagina. Can you believe this crap? This shite that they're trying to shove down our throats. Now women have to change the name of their private parts bonus hole. So not to upset the transgender people. What? Huh? What? OMG. So that's going on. The whole thing of, trying to shove us back into this tiny little framework of consciousness that, of course, has been going on for thousands of years with the patriarchy. They have basically shoved everybody, not just the feminine, but anybody that basically isn't the masculine, into these tiny little boxes that it's not okay. It's not working. It's not going to work, even though it may look like it's working, but it's not going to work. There are too many people right now awake, woke. Seems to be a bad word, woke. So I was like, what are they upset about that word for, woke? Well, they're upset about that word because that means that people have some sort of consciousness, and they don't want people to have consciousness. They want people to still be slaves and afraid and in tiny little boxes and not remembering the truth of who they are and where they come from, which is souls having a human experience. Yes, that's the truth. And of course, the powers that be do not want to have the people wake up. They don't want the people to wake up. They want to keep them slaves. That's why this disparity with the 1% and the 99% of the rest of us is so in everybody's face right now. And, the fascist Republicans, I'm just going to call it what it is. The fascist Nazi party that used to be called the Republicans, I don't know if they'll let me say this on YouTube. If you don't see me again, maybe that's why. But really, that's what they're heading towards, because they're trying to shut down the meals for children to give to the military, to give more money to the military. That budget is the biggest it's ever been in our history, moving into $1 trillion to be what? The bullies of the planet? And Ares is the god of war. Yeah. So, being woke is a bad thing. I'm like, how can being awake or woke be a bad thing? Well, it's only a bad thing if you have a very limited consciousness of the truth of what's going on here, which still about 40% of the population does. We have not reached critical mass yet. We have not had that monkey wash that frickin' sweet potato yet. Look that up. You can Google it. 100th monkey effect. Basically, it's critical mass, and that did happen. That's a for real story, not fake news. It's for real. For reals. Check it out. Maybe you're the 100th monkey. Maybe you're the one that's going to go, wait a minute, I don't have to keep buying into this crap that they're shoving down my throat and up my bonus hole. Oh, God. Oh, I have nothing against transgender people. You do you. Whatever needs to be done, you do you. But come on. They're asking the question, what is a woman? And if you notice, a lot of the transgenders are masculine wanting to be feminine. Not so much the other way. So that says something right there, doesn't it? It says so much right now. There's so much to be said right now. It's just incredible. So we have this new moon in Cancer tomorrow. That's, aligning with Pluto at 29 degrees. The nodes are aligning, also conjuncting 29 degrees north and south nodes. Critical degree. 29 degrees, 0 degrees. And 15 also, but those two, 29 and 0, are the most critical degrees in astrology. And that means that, the shite can really hit the fan. And this is going to be going on for a year and a half. Yeah. So the feminine, of course, Cancer, rules the fourth house, the home, the mother. It's about love. It's about staying in our love. It's about staying in our hearts. It's about staying in our alignment with consciousness, with our breath, of course, our holy sacred breath. And being in that alignment, because when you're in your holy sacred breath, you are in the now. You are not in the future. You are not in the past. You are in the moment. So the more you can consciously breathe, the more you will be present and in your presence than if you're shallowly breathing, which most people don't know how to take a deep breath. It's really sad. However, there are more breath workers out there right now than have been for the masses in the last, 40 years. Breathwork has been around, since day one. One of the things that I've read in my studies is that the conscious holy breath was the breath that Jesus learned to do when he went to India. The 12 years of Christ that are, they don't know what happened to him. That's what happened to him. He went to India to learn how to get ready to do the crucifixion. And if you don't think he was consciously breathing throughout that, he was not holding his breath. He had to keep breathing. And you breathe in a circle. It's a circular breath, so you don't stop breathing. And what that does is it allows you to feel your life force, which you probably never have before in your life, and it also starts to clear your emotional body, which is where every trauma you've ever experienced is stored, starting with your birth. And usually most of us have come in with baggage because we haven't cleared it from the last lifetime, or 5 or 10 or 100. And it's all stored in the emotional body. So the conscious connected holy breath is the one that clears that. Good to have a facilitator, because it can get pretty dark down there in the basement, I call it. It's like when you throw things down in the basement. Oh, I'll get to that later. Oh, I don't need to look at that right now. Oh, that can just stay there. It's not going to bother anybody. Yeah, that stuff grows and grows and grows and grows until eventually it kicks down the door and comes after you in ways that you don't want it to. It shows up in ways that just you don't want to see that, and neither does anybody else. So this Cancer moon, new moon, is about going back to the heart, staying in the heart, no matter what. No matter what. And they're going to try to keep kicking your ass in the dirt. That's the whole idea, is to keep us suppressed, is to keep us down, is to keep us not questioning. Just keep shoving it in and shoving it down and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, morbid obesity is like on the rise. And it's like, okay, I can understand, having some meat on your bones. But morbid obesity is scary. That is some suppression there. That's some weight suppression. And, when I was growing up, Twiggy was the model. And now it's like these females that are just like, okay, nobody wants to see that. I don't want to see that. Yeah, you do you, and if you want to be morbidly obese, but do you have to show that to all of us that don't want to look at that? I don't. I don't know about you. Not me. So, coming back to the Cancer new moon, it's time for receiving the energies of the mother, receiving the energies of the feminine, and holding tight to those energies, because that is what's going to help us get through this next 18 months. I mean, okay, so Mars, rules Aries, Venus rules Libra, relationships. So where in your life are your relationships right now? Are they where you want them to be? Or is it time to say, God bless, love you, and I have to let you go because this isn't working for me anymore? And there's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of relationships that end in the next 18 months. There will be relationships that start, and they will start in a way that you most want to be in relationship. Not this all over the lot, not lying, not bullshitting, not hidden agendas, not saying one thing and doing something else. Say what you mean what you say. Walk your frickin' talk now. Just walk it. We need to walk it, Aries. Walk it. There's going to be a lot of people in your face this 18 months if you're not walking your talk. They're going to call you out on it. Aries will do that. They will call you out on it. And not necessarily politely. So all of the stuff that's been going on as far as people and how they're acting out, expect more of that. It's just up to you and me and everyone that is woke, proud to be woke, yay, to keep going. The shift of the ages is happening. We are in it. If you haven't noticed the Earth and what she's doing, which I have been talking about for months on this channel and years in my life, that the Earth was going to say, you know what, enough. I don't need you people. You need me, but I don't need you. And I'm going to let you know by Mother Nature showing you exactly who's in charge here, which isn't us. We think we are. We're not. The Earth is in charge. Look at what's happening all over the planet, all over our country right now. Breaking records every single day. Hot. Yeah, hot to the touch. Hot to look at. Hot everywhere there's heat because it's building. It's building. And, the fires just started in LA. I mean, here we are mid-July and fires. And then the Canadian fires that were going last month that blanketed the East Coast, and they got a flavor of what we do on the West Coast every summer. They got a flavor of that, and to the point where New York, some of those days, was the worst air on the planet. It's not an accident. This is supposed to be happening because the Earth, Mother Nature, Gaia, is attempting to wake us up to become woke. Yeah, she wants us woke. She doesn't want us with our heads in the sand anymore. She wants us to stand up and go, you know what? This is all bullshit, and we need to stop, and we need to open our mouths and speak up. Speak up for yourself. Speak up for the planet. Speak up for the animals. Speak up for the children. Oof, this new movie that's out about trafficking. And, mainly, that's the patriarchy. You can draw all of this right back pretty much to the patriarchy out of freaking control because they're used to it. They're used to doing anything they want. They're used to getting anything they want. They've been doing this for 6,000 years. That's a long time. However, the Divine Feminine is back on the planet. The Mother is back on the planet, and she's not having it. And Mother Earth is not having it anymore. So, decide what you're going to do. Decide if you're going to stand up and be counted for what's right, and you know what's right. saving the planet is right. Stop doing the bullshit that these corporations want you to do, which is consume, consume, consume. To keep you locked into the whole, looking at your phone so you can't see what's going on around you. Locked in. Lockstep, boy. I mean, you wonder how the Nazis took over Germany? You wonder how the hell could they have taken over and done what they did? Take a look at what's going on in our country right now. Banning books, banning critical race theory. Yeah, it sucks that we have that passed. It's horrifying that we did that we decimated the Indians and we enslaved the black people. Suck! It's horrifying. And it's the truth. Yes, sometimes the truth is not easy to swallow, but we better swallow it so we can say, please forgive us for being such dicks, and move forward so that everybody is included. Everybody. Not just white people, not the good old boys. I mean, look at them. Ugh, scary. Frickin' scary. They want to raise the Confederate flag in Virginia again? Go right ahead. The South, you want to secede now? Please. Be my guest. Secede. We don't need that type of mentality anymore. We don't need it. We're not going to go forward. We're not going to make it into the next level. Well, some of us will. But a lot of us are not, because you got to change the frequency. You got to change your vibration. And if you think keeping people in tight little boxes is going to do that and deny, it's not going to happen for you. And I don't know about you, but I want to move out of the third dimension. I do not want to stay in the third dimension. No, I do not. And I don't know about you, but maybe the people that are watching this channel agree with me. So please, take this time, do your new moon rituals if you have any, do your readings, do ceremony, ask to be in alignment with the mother and the earth, and take this time and let go of the relationships that don't work, forge new ones, move forward, and stand up and be counted. If there's something going on in front of you that is horrible, awful, you step in. Step in. Stop being such a pussy, a coward, and step in. Because, we're all going to die anyway, or ascend. Some people are going to actually do that. Most of us are going to die again this time. Die for something that you believe in. Die for something, if you're helping a kid that's trying to get abducted by some sex trafficker, freaking patriarchal bullshit male. Step in. Step up. Somebody's hurting an animal, you freaking get in front of them and in between you and that animal and that person. And you say, no, not on my watch, Satan. If you want to use the darkness, that's a good word to put on that. Satan. Which is the shadow, which is the parts of ourselves that have never been looked at, which have been in the basement, which we just act out. 80% of the consciousness of people is underneath the water. 20% is the conscious, 80% is the subconscious, and that's what's running your life if you're not taking the time to learn about who you are, where you come from, and where you're going. Okay, well, I'm back. Hopefully you'll be seeing more of me. Spirit still wants me to keep doing this. I have added a couple of new things to my repertoire, and I'm enjoying that. It's bringing me joy. And that's what we need to do, is bring ourselves the joy that we thrive on. That's our love. That's our light. That's what we're doing here. To stand up and be counted for the light and the love. All right? So, that's me for today. Om Namah Shivaya. In Lak'ech. Namaste. El Kalimo. Please keep going. Don't let the darkness win. And I will see you sooner than later. All right. Bye for now.